Good morning, everyone. It's Sal, Stretford Post. How you doing? And welcome to the live watch along between Turkey and Paraguay in the World Cup. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing fine. Thank you so much for joining me this morning, guys. Please don't, before I start though, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash a like on the video, put your notifications on, all that jazz to be absolutely fantastic. Thank you, everyone, for joining me today in this crucial game, guys. Let's get straight into the lineup, shall we, guys, real quickly. So let's just add this onto the screen. Let's get into the lineups. Now, this is the lineups for the two sides, guys. Let me just put this on. There we go. This is the lineup for the two sides. Very, very strong lineup from Turkey. I'm looking at Turkey, and I know, you know what, part of me feels like, how the hell did they lose to Australia? Having watched Australia yesterday, I've never been so underwhelmed in my life. It was such a poor performance. But this 4-2-3-1. A couple of players to look out for, of course. One of them is Kenan Yildiz, playing on the left. He plays for Juventus, of course, the highly rated 100 million euro valued player who plays for Turkey. Kenan Yildiz, he's playing on the left of midfield, the 21-year-old, and also Arda Güler, who plays for Real Madrid. Very talented attacking midfielder guys there. So they got two very, very good standout players there, in my opinion. Those are the two main players I would say about them. They're the two danger men. Of course, it does get a little bit underwhelming when you get to the striker position. Obviously, Koglu, who plays for Fenerbahce, he's all right, but he's not going to get you a lot of goals, but he's all right. He's a decent striker, but they are full of, like, what I would say about Turkey, obviously looking at Kadioglu as well. They got a mixture between really, really good players and a kind of subpar players, average players, in my opinion. When it comes to Paraguay, we look at Paraguay. Of course, we've got Enciso, the 22-year-old Strasbourg striker, decent striker, young, up-and-coming player, quite good, quite versatile as well. So he'll be a danger man for Paraguay. In regards to the midfield, you've got Galaza, who's a 24-year-old Atlanta. He plays for one to keep an eye out, a good player as well. The two midfielders in there, and the 30-year-old experienced player from Vancouver, Cubas. But we've got also a couple of decent defenders from them. They got the 33-year-old Gomez, who's very experienced Palmeiras player. And we got Alderete, of course, at Sunderland, as we know, been a very good player for Sunderland as well. So those are basically the gist of the lineups, guys. That's what we got. So also look out for Pitta, Red Bull, Barcantino, he plays for them, so he's capable of a goal or two. I would expect Turkey to win this game quite comfortably, though. I would say that, in my opinion, they have to anyway. They have to. Well, both teams have to. So this is the bench. Bayender, Gunok, Soyuncu, Elmali, Ayhan, Kabak, Akadin, Uzin, Selik, Kochu. Obviously, Kochu, I just want to talk about Kochu, of course. Good player. That player's one. I mean, he may be coming off the bench. The CDM, DM wouldn't be a bad option for United, to be honest, as a backup player. We've got Yapa Yilmaz as well of Galatasaray, of course. Left winger that may come off the bench. So we're looking at Gul, Kvache, and Özguş Aydin, guys. So those are the two lineups. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome, guys, to the stream. Hope everyone's having a great morning so far, guys. Absolutely. Thank you, everyone who's joined me today. Really, really appreciate it. Hope everyone's having a good time. Hope we're ready for a good game. That's what we're ready for, guys. It's all about a good game today, guys. That's what we want. We want to win a competitive game, a good game between two sides. Of course, that's what we want, guys. Absolutely. So welcome to the stream, everyone. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. Appreciate that. Of course. So those are two lineups. I'm going for a win for Turkey today. I think it'll be a 3-1 win for Turkey today. That's what I'm going for. I think they were caught a little bit cold the last game. When I think about the Australia game, I think they weren't ready, so to speak. I don't think they played particularly well. I don't think they did themselves justice in regards to that game. And having watched Australia yesterday, I can't for the life of me think how they managed to lose that game, to be honest with you. Do you know what I mean? I can't believe how they lost that game, how they lost to Australia. Looking at Australia yesterday, Australia yesterday looked like they couldn't score for months. I mean, how they managed to lose to them is unreal. But this is an opportunity for both sides, of course. Whoever wins this game will be on 3 points. And that will be level with Australia, taking it into the last game. Of course, Turkey will be playing the USA, who have already qualified. So that might be an advantage. Who knows? It is a more difficult game. yeah, but Australia obviously are going to be playing Paraguay. So it's going to be an interesting thing. We're ready for kickoff, guys. It's going to be an interesting a couple of games in these groups. The games are starting to get the groups are starting to get interesting now. The groups are starting to get interesting. So here we go. We're kicked off. Hope everyone's fine. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Welcome to the new guys. Don't forget to smash the like on the way in, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you guys could do that for me. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Thank you, everyone who's joined me today. Appreciate it much, of course. Big up, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Everyone in the stream. Happy Saturday to anyone who's here today, of course. Yeah, so this could be a frantic game. This is a very obviously, Paraguay are not as bad as people think. We're playing in San Francisco today, guys. Just to let you know, San Francisco, a goal. It's a goal already. I can't believe it. It's a goal, and it's Galaza with the goal for Paraguay. They've scored already. Unbelievable. That is a terrible start for Turkey, but it is 1-0 to Paraguay already. Wow, but Turkey have started so badly here. They're not having a World Cup yet of their dreams this time. Unbelievable strike right into the bottom corner. My goodness me. What a goal. What a goal from Paraguay. An unbelievable goal. 1-0 to Paraguay already after a minute. That is one of the quickest goals in World Cup history we have witnessed today. Like that was after 1 minute. My goodness me. What a start in this game here. What a start. What a mad one. What a strike that was. It was a good strike into the bottom of the goal. Unbelievable start here. My goodness me. Look, it's not good from Turkey. It's not good from Turkey straight away. You know what I mean? Straight away, conceding a goal there. That's not exactly what the doctor ordered. It's not what they were planning, of course, guys, at all. But it was a great strike, to be fair. It was a good strike right into the bottom corner. Goalkeeper could do nothing about it. It was right into the corner, yeah, and off just slightly off the post. And it is 1-0 to Paraguay already. 1-0 to Paraguay already, guys. Can Turkey respond? That's the sort of start we wanted, isn't it? The kind of start we wanted in this, guys. After a few minutes, guys, they've scored. Wow, that's the kind of start we wanted in this game, though. To be honest with you, we wanted a proper start in this game. So 1-0 to Paraguay. Now Turkey have to wake up against me. Sometimes this happens, though. I mean, early goal doesn't necessarily mean it can wake up the game. It is good that there is an early goal. Sometimes the early goal works wonders, doesn't it? For the game, it does well. But Turkey would be shocked here. They would be shocked here, to be honest with you. And yeah, especially Paraguay to shoot that from there to they're not notoriously known for they're delighted. They will be delighted that start. Well strike from Paraguay. A really good strike from Paraguay there. Guys, Galaza with the goal. And anyway, Turkey have to respond here. They have a Gula. Here is Kenan Yildiz. They've got the talent. They need to respond, otherwise they're going out of the World Cup if they don't pick it up. Turkey, good play from Gula. Turkey are really digging in now. This game is really frantic. Can this be the surprising game of the tournament? Who knows? You never know, guys. Sometimes you don't expect a yellow card. It's a yellow card for Paraguay. Hold on. It's getting a bit tasty here, guys. It's getting a bit tasty. There's lots of tackles flying in and stuff like that. Oh, that's a yellow card. It's a yellow card for Paraguay already. The last thing they want is a red card, isn't it? Straight away, what Paraguay need to do. They need to say, calm down, relax. Because what Turkey would do, they will lure you in and to get you a foul, and you could possibly try and get you a red card. So you've got to be careful. Don't be lured into, the tactics, because you can get too excited and then end up doing something ridiculous. End up a player being sent off and stuff like that. It's Mateus Galaza, the goal scorer, has got the yellow card, by the way. He's had a hell of an opening. I don't think he would have had many openings in his career like that. My goodness me. But yeah, it was a foul. It's a yellow card already. One thing you've got to be careful in this tournament. The yellow cards are flying around. Thank God the red cards have died down a little bit from the opening games. The red cards have kind of mellowed a little bit. That's good. I'm glad about that, because you want to see 11 against 11. You want to see competitive football, don't you? But what a start to this game! Probably the best opening period of the World Cup so far, guys. It's one of the earliest World Cup goals I can remember, certainly. 1-0 already. Literally, was it 50 seconds or something like that? Unbelievable. But that has woken Turkey up. They've realised, like, you can't just start the games on snooze button. You can't do that, because these teams will be ready for you, at the end of the day. One thing I am disappointed with Turkey. I am disappointed. I have to admit they've got such a good team, and then they perform badly. Ever since 2002, they have performed badly at the World Cups and the European Championships and things like that. And I mean, they've always had a decent lineups. They've always had talent, and it's just, maybe, I don't know what it is. Is it a mentality thing? They've done all right sometimes in a couple of tournaments, but they've never really excelled the way they should, considering the talent they've got, the pool of talent they've got. I mean, you've got Kenan Yildiz and Arda Güler as the attacking players on that Turkish lineup. I mean, two of the best young players in Europe. One plays for Real Madrid, starting for Real Madrid. One plays for Juventus. He's slapped 100 million euros price tag on himself. So yeah, unbelievable, man. How they can perform like this, and a more obviously a much more experienced lineup as well. Anyway, Turkey have responded, and they are starting to dominate play. One thing about when you go 1-0 down, the shackles are off a little bit, and you can start playing, and just the nerves sort of go out, because you realize, oh, hold on a minute, yeah, that's it. We better get into this. But a lot of the times when teams score early, it's not that. I mean, I've seen it with England in the World Cup semi-final. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't mean that you're going to win the game just because you score early. You know what I mean? So there we go. So anyway, we are carrying on here. Turkey have the ball on the left-hand side. Yeah, I mean, you need to see more from Turkey, definitely, in this tournament. They have so far had a nightmare, and that's how quickly, a World Cup could spiral out of control in regards to losing or the mentality and stuff like that. Definitely. Here's Kenan Yildiz. Did well to retrieve the ball there. Turkey have won the ball. They've dominated ever since, of course. One thing, what Paraguay shouldn't do, if I was going to give Paraguay any advice, is Paraguay shouldn't be sitting back. They shouldn't just sit back now. They should actually try and be an attacking outlet. So here come Turkey on the right-hand side. Good chance. No one was in the box. Paraguay cleared the ball. Yeah, obviously Paraguay did lose 4-1 to the USA in the opening game. 4-1 to the USA. So for me, they looked really poor in the first game. I was not impressed. But they've started well here. This is the thing. It's the thing. You can make up for it if you have the right attitude. You come in the next game and you can make up for it. Definitely, absolutely. So there we go. It's been cleared out, guys. It is a throw in to Paraguay. It's a throw in to Paraguay. Long throw there. Turkey, they bring it away well. Good little bit of play, and it's a great ball there. Now Turkey have a chance to attack here. The game's a little bit stretched, so they have a chance on the left-hand side. Here we go. Can they create an opportunity straight away? Can they equalize straight away? That would be good for the game. Definitely be good for the game anyway. Can they equalize straight away? Here we go. Cross comes in, crossed straight across the pitch to the left-hand side. Cuts in on the outside, and it's going to be a throw into Turkey. Yeah, Turkey have started to respond slightly. Of course, it's how Paraguay approach this game now. It's what they do in this game now. How are they going to approach this game? Do you know what I mean? That is the key. To be honest with you, because they can go two ways. They can try and work it. They can try and counterattack, or they could just sit back and be defensive. I don't think it'd be a good idea to sit back and be defensive, in my opinion. I think they got to try and act as an attacking outlet as well. Definitely. We're only 9 minutes in, guys, by the way. Thank you, everyone who's joined me today. I really appreciate it. Thank you, guys. They definitely have to act as an attacking outlet, definitely, guys. Don't forget, I'll be here later on as well for the Sweden against Holland game, guys, later on tonight, about 9 p.m. my time, about 6 p.m. UK time. That should be a good game. Two very good sides. Yeah, no, it's early in the days. There's no panic for Turkey. They shouldn't panic. It is early days, so there is a chance. Vincenzo Montella, of course, is the manager of Turkey. Vincenzo Montella, who is, of course, a Sampdoria and Roma legend, of course, scored many goals for Italy as well. So Vincenzo Montella won't be happy with what he's seen so far, but he'll be under extreme pressure if they lose this game to Paraguay. That would be a horrible loss. Yeah, definitely be a horrible loss. It won't be a good look, to be honest with you. Absolutely not. But here come Paraguay again on the right hand side. Great cross there. Well cleared again. Well cleared from Turkey again, guys. It was Demiral with the clearance. When you consider Turkey, and Turkey they've got obviously endless Champions League experience. They've been in various tournaments and stuff like that. So you know what I mean? They got to do better. Gustavo Alfaro is the manager of Paraguay, the veteran, of course. He's the manager of Paraguay. Yeah. I think I'm looking at Turkey at the moment. They just need to clear their heads a little bit, relax a little bit, and just. I still think they can win this game. I did say 3-1 to Turkey, didn't I? I did say 3-1. That was my prediction, by the way. Yeah, I do think they have an opportunity here to come back into the game if they just clear their heads a little bit and just relax a bit. Of course, absolutely. That's what I would say. Happy Saturday to everyone, guys. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the stream. Hope everyone is good. Here come Turkey again on the attack. Since the goal, Turkey have had the better of the game, to be honest with you. They have had the majority of the possession. They need to start creating clear-cut chances, though. They've not really had any chances, if I'm being honest with you. But here, Turkey again. On the left-hand side, a lot is coming from the Kenan Yildiz side. Gula, good play from Turkey here. Lots of tiki-taka. They need to be more direct, though, and Paraguay win the ball back. And they can counter here, Paraguay. It's a big, there you go. Yeah, Turkey get back quick. You see, this is the thing, you know. The thing is, what I would say is that I think Turkey just need to relax. And if they can get it to 1-1 at half time or something like that, if they can get it to 1-1, whenever they get to 1-1, you can win the game after that. It's not necessarily it's not a minute or 2 minutes to go. So you've got to be careful not to get caught on the break. You've got to be careful not to get caught in the counter attack because the game is still young, it's still new, and you know what? You've got plenty of time to turn this around. And that's what I would say. Don't make it to a point where it's 2-0 and 3-0 and stuff, and then you're out of the game with the counter attack. So do not panic. I'm seeing a lot of panic from Turkey at the moment. They just need to be calm. You know, here they go, though. Here we go. It's a chance of Turkey. They're in space. It's a poor ball. Another ball. He's won it back. This time, it's a poor strike there. Guys, that was Arda Güler with the strike. The Real Madrid. He just needed to control himself a little bit. It was he needed to control himself, but it was a decent opportunity there. From one of the better players in the obviously Turkey side. What a great player, actually. One of the best players in Europe, young players in Europe. Started lots of games for Real Madrid this season. Guys, so that was not the best strike in the world, to be honest, to be fair. Right. We have got a free kick here to Turkey. We have got a free kick to Turkey. It's a corner kick to Turkey, should I say? Sorry, it's a corner kick to Turkey. Yeah, what they've got to do is they've got to capitalize on these set pieces. Definitely, you have to utilize these set pieces absolutely 100%. You have to make sure that you put these set pieces to use, of course. But very, very bright, entertaining opening exchanges. Much better than the game yesterday. It was boring, that game yesterday. I'm telling you right now. A cross comes in, cleared away. Turkey leaving one in their own half. Fair play to them. They're brave. But they've got to be careful not to get caught in the counter attack, definitely. But yeah, since the goal, it's all been Turkey. They're winning the ball back. They're pressing high. It's just not creating that. Here they go. They're in the box though. There's a chance here. Oh, he tried to shoot. They are opening Paraguay up in this last couple of minutes. But Paraguay will feel Amaron. And he passes it out wide on the right-hand side. Paraguay got a counter-attack here. Exactly what I said. They've got to be careful of those counter-attacks, Turkey. Cross comes in, and it's cleared. It's a poor cross in the end, and it's a goal kick, guys. It's a goal kick. Yeah, they've got to be careful of those counter-attacks, Turkey, because it is early days. They have got time to get back into this game. Do you know what I mean? But, yeah, opening start to this game is frantic. It is frantic, and see, sometimes in the games that you see some games you watch and you're like, you know what I mean? It's like you don't expect it to be the game of the tournament. It's bloody, it becomes the game of the tournament, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? But we 15 minutes have flown by here, guys. Absolutely. Cross comes in. It's on the right-hand side here with the number 19 chance. Oof. It was a decent ball, to be honest, from Atkin. Atkin, of course, plays for Galatasaray. Turkey, they do remind me. I know they do remind me a lot of Galatasaray and Fenerbahce in the Champions League. They've got a lot of talent, but maybe temperament is a little bit of a problem in regards to managing the game and not to panic and approaching the game the right way. When to press, when to run, when to panic. And at the moment they seem like they responded pretty well. They are playing more calm. Sometimes in football you go 1-0 down, and that's going to happen to you. It's how you respond, which is the most important thing. However, you have to respond, and that shows character. When you're losing 1-0, you're losing 2-0. Great teams come back, and that's what it is. How many times did Man United come back in 98, 99? We went 2-0 down to Juventus in the Deli Alpi at a time when they didn't lose at the Deli Alpi. So there you go. And we came back to win 3-2. That's what you do in football. You have to show your character and personality when you go 1-0 down, because adversity will strike in any field. And if you're 1-0 down, sometimes you can go 1-0 down after 1 minute, and you're like, "Whoa, what's going on here?" And then you respond. Anyway, they have responded well, but Turkey need to try and carve Paraguay open a little bit. At the moment, Paraguay are comfortable in the defending. They are okay. They're not too bad in defending what they have at the moment. It's how long they can maintain that, and how long can Turkey keep pressing, and that's the thing. Do you know what I mean? 100%. We got everyone watching the game today for wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much for joining me, of course, on this watch along. It's Turkey. Turkey have a chance here, and it's a corner. It's a corner there. I think it was Kenan Yildiz who won the corner. It's a chance for Turkey now with another set piece. Another set piece here. So the set piece taker for Turkey is Kahagnoglu, who's the player who plays for Inter Milan, of course, the talented central defensive midfielder. He plays for Inter Milan at the moment. Cross comes in. There's another poor corner, to be honest. Got to prove the corners, though. Definitely won back well by Turkey. They are relentless. I don't know how long they can keep this press up, though. It's a foul. I don't know how long they can keep the press up, but they are very, very relentless so far in this game. Keeping the ball now. 75% possession so far for Turkey. So yeah, they've really responded. But as we know, possession means nothing. You've got to put that ball in the back of the net. Turkey cannot even. I would say, if they draw this game, they'll be under enormous pressure to beat the USA in the last game. Obviously, the 8 top teams out of 12 qualify for the last 32. So they need. I would feel that a team has aspirations to get into the last 32 as a third place finish would have to get at least 4 points for me, definitely. I think 3 points won't do it. It might do it. The last one, maybe one might sneak through with the goal difference and stuff like that. But that's exactly what it is: a goal difference and things like that. You have to score, don't you? And but 4 points, I think, will be the benchmark you should be aiming for. If you're going to come third in the group and you want to qualify for the next round, you've got to be aiming at 4 points for me, definitely 100%. Because I don't think 3 points will work. I don't. It is a definitely a another corner to Turkey. Turkey obviously dominating at the moment. Paraguay be confident that they could hold on, of course. But at this moment in time, Turkey will carve them open eventually if they carry on playing so deep. Paraguay, I would say, yeah, they need to start thinking about attacking as well. 20 minutes gone, guys. Punched out there. Turkey have got an opportunity again to get that ball back into the box. Cleared away. Here we are again. It's a poor touch there. Turkey are a little bit reckless in the final third. They're a little bit reckless. They need to be more. Need to get a little bit more ruthless here. Definitely. Be more composed in basically in the final third. They're just throwing balls in there like it's the last minute. They need to be more composed. Stretch the game a little bit. Get the ball on the wings. Get the overlapping runs going, and that's what they need to do. And they lost the ball there, careless again in the final third. Turkey are panicking, and it's going to be a counter attack of Paraguay here with the number 25. He's got it on the left hand side. He crosses it in, and it's cleared away by Turkey. Eventually cleared away here, and it's going to be a free kick. It's a free kick to Turkey. I think once Turkey scored the first goal, I think the floodgates will open, to be honest with you. But here come Turkey on the left. It's going to be a foul in a dangerous position for Turkey again, guys. And obviously the number 11, Kenan Yildiz, is causing all sorts of problems over there. A lot of the play is coming from Kenan Yildiz on that side. Of course, it was a blatant push. A lot of the play is coming from him. On that, you're rarely seeing any right side. Obviously, you've got Kadioglu and Yildiz working on that left-hand side. So a very good left side for Turkey. One of the best, to be honest with you, left side for Turkey. So, yeah, they're working well together, definitely. But it's a free kick here to Turkey on the left-hand side. Kenan Yildiz will be taking the free kick here. He'll be taking the free kick. Cross comes in. It's a good free kick, and that's a corner. Is that a corner? No, it's a throw. It's going out for it's gone out for a corner to Turkey now. Turkey have got a corner, another set piece. Can they capitalize this time? And the last couple of corners haven't been up to scratch. Can they get one here? A decent ball in the box. Cleared away well again by the Paraguay defending very well here, very, very well. They've got Paraguay got basically the whole team in the back at the moment. I would urge Paraguay. They've got to obviously try and be an attacking outlet as well if they carry on inviting this pressure. But they've made some very good tackles in this game though, very good. But Turkey keep winning back the ball. Turkey need to compose themselves and keep that ball ticking, and also Paraguay, because this pressure is too much. You know, you're going to be knackered by the time it gets to the second half. You know, if you carry on having to run, you know, when you haven't got the ball, it's the worst thing, because that's, you know, it kills you, doesn't it? It kills you. Here they are on the left hand side. Cross comes in. It's a chance I don't know why he didn't cross that. It's a poor ball. Sometimes they make really poor decisions, Turkey. You know, the way they hit the ball. It's not going to strike. You're not going to score from there, mate. From 40 yards, that was at an angle. Definitely not. But Turkey are relentlessly pressing in this game. Relentlessly. But Paraguay will feel, as long as they can keep them at arm's length, then they're going to be fine. You know. there is enough quality in this Turkish lineup to create Paraguay some problems if they're not careful. And I do think if Turkey managed to get a goal, that's when you're going to see character, and you're going to have to see you're going to have a look, at the character of the teams and stuff like that. Definitely. But keeping the ball very well. We big up everyone in the stream. Thank you, everyone who's joined me today. Thank you. It is Paraguay 1, Turkey 0, courtesy of Galaz's very early strike. It was about 50 seconds in the game. That was probably one of the quickest World Cup goals in the history, probably. I mean, that was a very, very quick World Cup goal. I don't know if it was the quickest. I don't know what the quick. I swear there was a goal after like 10 seconds before. But Enciso and Almiron are having a very good game so far. They're the two players I'm looking at, and also, they're two players I'm looking at in this Paraguay team that are working very, very hard. It's a throw in to Turkey. It's a throw in to Turkey here. So we've got 26 minutes on the clock, roughly, guys, and we have got a ridiculous hydration break. Oh my goodness me. Turkey won't want a hydration break. I mean, who wants a hydration break? This bloody hydration break, Yeah, it does. It does. It does. It does. Yeah, I do think that the breaks, the hydration breaks, are ruining the vibe of this World Cup. To be honest with you, I do believe that is slowing the game down. It's making the game, cutting the game up. I do think it is. I do think that the hydration breaks and the quantity of the hydration breaks is ruining the momentum, excitement of the game. It feels like every single time there's going to be like it's extra time or something like that. Do you know what I mean? I do feel like, and it's probably not even as hot, there today, of course, as well. So, yeah, I do think it is ruining the vibe somewhat. If I'm being totally honest with you, yeah, they need to. I don't think it is. I don't think it's a necessary. These hydration breaks. I really don't, in my opinion. There's too many going on at the moment. Definitely, these hydration breaks need to stop. There are too many of them. Because I'm sure Turkey wouldn't have wanted a hydration break. They were in a mode where they were dominating the game. And obviously, when you have a hydration break, for example, Paraguay would have more chance to reorganize and get themselves ready and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? As we saw a couple of games, teams have been conceding goals straight after a hydration break and stuff like that. So it's not a place for football. You have your water, you have the water on the side, have a drink. You don't need to stop the game. It's ridiculous, in my opinion. I don't think that should be a case. I mean, I hope the quicker we eradicate it, the better. One of the worst decisions I think FIFA have ever done is have these hydration breaks. And it's not only that, they have, what do they have? Two or three or four of them, isn't it, during the game? But anyway, Turkey have started again, and it's going to be another corner to them, guys. It's another corner to them. Cross comes in, headed away again. Oh, overhead kick from about 25 yards out. It doesn't affect the goalkeeper. That was great effort though. To be fair, it was a great effort. Turkey on the right. It's a free kick. They feel they would need to equalize before halftime. If Turkey can get it at 1-1 before halftime, I think they'll be confident of winning this game. I think they will. Obviously, they'll hit with a sucker punch right at the beginning of the game. That can happen. It was a great strike from Galazzo, but since then, it's just been all Turkey. It's been dominating from Turkey. I don't know how, if Turkey do equalize, how Paraguay are going to respond. Here we go. It's another corner, is it? It is another corner. I don't know how Paraguay will respond if no, it isn't a corner. It's a goal kick. Yeah. If it does go to 1-1, then obviously it's going to be, a different game for Paraguay. They're going to have to flip it around and try and attack and stuff like that, isn't it? You know what I mean? Definitely. Yeah, we do get VAR now on corners as well, so corners can be overturned. I do feel like if you're going to have VAR, like you're opening up the door for everything to be VAR. You know what I mean? Because you can't have VAR for one thing and then not VAR for the other thing. You have to have VAR for corners, for everything, because every single action in the game affects the game, doesn't it? The result of the game. A ball can go that way. If it's a throw in for you and not a throw in, it's where you draw the line, really. It's where you draw the line in regards to VAR. I think in regards to VAR, you have to use it like. So here come Turkey, though. It's a chance. You have to use it like I used to say. I think I was saying you should use the cricket model. So basically, there should be like appeals per game. So basically, a team will get a couple of appeals per game, whether it's an offside, whether it's a goal, whether it's a sending off. Both teams should get about a couple of appeals per game. That's what they have in cricket. So basically, in cricket, you can appeal, right, and you only have a limited amount of appeals in the game. And maybe you can do it something like that rather than using it throughout the whole game, because eventually we're going to turn it into like it's going to be a stop-start sort of game. It's something that we don't want in football. The great thing about football, I mean, then you add on the hydration breaks here. The great thing about football is that it's free-flowing and it doesn't stop and it's relentless. And that's why it's the best sport in the world. If we start stop-starting everything, or you can just say, well, the referee's responsible for everything, but just goals you could look back on. You can look back on goals, red cards, major decisions. Do you know what I mean? Major decisions. Obviously, the ball over the line is sorted. That's electronic. I feel like major decisions in the game, I would say that's what they should be doing looking at red cards, goals, offsides that lead to goals, sending offs, things like that. Do you know what I mean? And I would say that definitely. I think that's what they should do. Not just exclusively everything is VAR. Everything is VAR. Because then you're just going to slow down the game and you're going to ruin the game, to be honest with you. A game that has been untouched for more or less, hasn't it? It's straight that to goalkeeper, guys. Turkey are back on this relentless attack. Kadioglu with the ball here, running forward quickly there. You got an outlet of Kenan Yildiz. It's a decent ball from Kadioglu, but cleared again by Paraguay. Paraguay defending extremely well at the moment. It's how long can Paraguay keep this relentless defense and relentless attack going against them? Here we go. Turkey. Kula. Foul. This game is aggressive, though. I like it. It is aggressive. Both two teams really going at each other. That's what we like to see. We like to see two teams going at each other. It's a free kick to Turkey on the right-hand side, just about 30 yards out, just inside the box, outside the box, on the right-hand side. Can he whip a good ball in this time? Can he get a good ball into the box? Let's have a look. Let's see if he can get a good ball into the box. Cross comes in. Decent cross. Header off the post. Wow, that was off the post. That was so close. That was the best chance. That was the best chance for Turkey. It was off the post. That was how that didn't go in. The goalkeeper stood still, but it hit the post. That would have been the perfect time to score for Turkey. He crossed it in. It was a towering header, to be honest. And it hit the crossbar and the post. It hit the crossbar and the post. So it come off the crossbar and it deflected onto the post. Wow. How that didn't go in. How's your luck? How that didn't go in. That should have been 1-1. Definitely should have been 1-1. Turkey came so close there to equalizing. You can't come any closer than that. Post and crossbar. You can't come closer than that. Definitely not. Well, that's the closest they've come. It's going to be a corner to Turkey. No, he clears it out for a throw-in. He managed to clear it for a throw-in. Well, what a chance that was. Almost a goal. Almost a goal. But not quite. 35 minutes gone, guys. 1-0 to Paraguay in this game, in this World Cup. Crucial World Cup game, of course. Very crucial World Cup game. Turkey will want to take it to the last game. If they lose this game, then more or less you can say goodbye. If they lose this game, draw will keep it alive, obviously, but they have to win the last game, definitely. Here come Turkey. Chance. Again, the domination is unbelievable. I don't see any fitness problems with Turkey. I think there was a question about Turkey's fitness. But here comes Paraguay on the left-hand side. They got a little bit of space here. Can they counterattack? There's a big chance for Paraguay, and it's well defended in the end. This is what you have to be careful of the counterattacks with Turkey. This is what Paraguay would be looking for. They'd be looking for these moments in the game where they can counterattack on them. Here comes Paraguay again. Big chance. Good save from the keeper. Yeah, Turkey have got to be very calculated. They can't leave too much space there. Otherwise, Paraguay will get a second goal and, it could be over for Turkey, So they really do need to be careful of those counterattacks. They need to keep some people back, guys, absolutely. There's a yellow card coming out here from the referee. What's the yellow card for? The manager. He's getting a yellow card. Is it the Paraguay manager is getting a yellow card? It is. He's got a yellow card. The Paraguay manager, he's got to be careful now. You get his marching orders if he's not careful. It's a competitive game, though. A very, very competitive game. I like it. At least it's got something about it. It's more exciting than the game yesterday that we were watching, of course. Australia were absolutely waste of space, I'll be honest. They were rubbish yesterday. I've never seen such rubbish. One of the worst games I've ever seen a team play in a World Cup. Really, really bad. It was, especially with the hype that they gave themselves, it's just to have that disappointing performance against the USA. And, to be honest with you, but at this moment in time, the group is not looking as strong. All teams, apart from the USA, probably don't think any team is excelling in this group particularly well. If I'm going to, here come Paraguay, though, a little bit of space for them. They got a chance here on the 30 yards out on the D, but it's tackled there well. And Turkey could come back here. Turkey wouldn't mind that because they'll get a bit of space to run forward. Here they are on the right-hand side with a little bit of space. It's a poor ball. It's a poor ball again. Their final ball is atrocious sometimes. Honestly, sometimes they get into that position and then they're very, very panicky. What is it? Rushed. They rush their ball sometimes. They just need to take their time sometimes, Don't need to rush it. You just need to look around, see what's available, and then you make that killer pass. You don't have to always rush it and you know what I mean, at the end of the day. Because that's what they're doing at the moment. Every time they get into that position, they're like very rash, I would say. Very rash, I would say, definitely. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, guys, if you're new. Thank you, everyone who's joined me. And thank you, everyone, the new subscribers and that to come in. Thank you, everyone. I really, really appreciate it. Those people up on a Saturday morning, you are the real ones. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it. Yeah, obviously Turkey will feel aggrieved by the way this game has gone so far. They are 1-0 down, but they've got a chance. They'll be looking to equalise before half time. Be a good time to score, wouldn't it? It would be a good time to score for Turkey. Definitely, it would be a good time to score. Here come Paraguay, cleared away by Turkey. Again, cleared away. We got about 5 minutes and a half to go. Still 1-0, courtesy of that very, very early goal from Paraguay and Galazo with a goal. It's a lot of, at the moment, it is a lot of puff and puff. Apart from that header, I haven't really seen any chances for Turkey. There's a lot of possession here, but no real. No real stuff is happening. Let me just. Spat with the Paraguay goalkeeper. Hey, big up Dabby what's going on? Good early morning, Sal. Did you stay up all night? No, I had to sleep, mate. I didn't do the watch-along last night between Morocco and Scotland and Haiti and Brazil. So, yeah, I was all right. Turkey getting very unlucky, but they need to big up Rajat. They need to convert those. They need to convert the chances into the possession into goals. They've got a lot of possession, but they're not creating enough. They came unlucky with that. Obviously, hit the post and the bar, but referee gets in the way there. It's going to be a drop ball. This referee's in it. Oh my goodness me! What kind of referee is this, man? Honest to God, need to get out of the way. The referee need to get out of the way, ref. What you doing? Come on, ref. You need to get out of the way there. Here come Turkey, though. They're giving away the ball, Paraguay. It's going to be some space here. Look, it's just too much running, too much possession, too much. What they need to do is that they need to start releasing that ball at the right time and stop this. Because in the final third, it's like they don't know what they're doing. It's like almost they're confused. I mean, with players like Kenan Yildiz, Arda Güler as the attacking players, I mean, I expect a lot more from them, definitely. Guys, don't forget, I'll be back about 7 a.m. UK time for Breaking Dawn, of course. I will be here with the latest Man United news. Don't forget to join me for that. Some big news coming in. I will have some more news coming up after this, definitely. So, massive few weeks on Man United, of course, as well. But anyway, Paraguay, who've been on the back foot for most of the game, they are still finding ways to counterattack sometimes. It's a chance here for Paraguay. He's done very well, the player. This will be a great goal. He's chipped it in and it's cleared away. It's cleared away. Straight at the goalkeeper. Free kick to Turkey. It's a free kick to Turkey. Here they are. We got about, probably it's interesting to see how much injury time, probably about 3 or 4 minutes. Portugal look a broken team at the moment. Roberto Martinez is a poor manager, mate. Davidas. He's one of the most overrated managers there is. A bit of play acting here from Paraguay. There's a little bit of play acting here. You got to be careful with the play acting. Definitely, there will be some play acting going on, guys. Just waiting to half time. We've literally got 6 minutes of injury time. Bloody hell! This hydration break. This hydration break is mad. It's like you're getting like 6 minutes of injury time and things like that. It's ridiculous. In the first half, you know, he's getting a little bit crazy, to be honest with you. Definitely. Playing the manager, can't have Ronaldo playing that match. Ronaldo needs to hit the bench a little bit. Unfortunately, Ronaldo's the GOAT for me, but 41 years old. You know, you gotta know when to. There is a problem though. Well, I wouldn't criticize Ronaldo too much because obviously they're not playing to his game. So I know a lot of people are saying that they're playing for Ronaldo, and they're not. They're actually not passing him the ball. They're actually getting the ball and not crossing the ball into the box. I've seen that a lot. You know, from Portugal. So, but I've always said it. I actually think that Portugal are a little bit overrated. I've said it for a while. Even though I want them to win. If England don't win, I would want Portugal to win the World Cup. But I do think they're a little bit overrated. They've got a couple of good midfielders in there, 1 or 2 decent players after that. And then, you know, other than that, there's nothing. You know, referees running. This referee ain't good at. This referee is chaos. This referee represents chaos. This referee, he is. He's going to VAR here. He's going to VAR. Let's have a look. So it's going for a red card. He covered his mouth. It might be a red card here. Red card for Paraguay. Red card for Paraguay. He must have said something really bad. Obviously, the World Cup nowadays, in the World Cup, and it's Amorim as well. He's played Newcastle and everything. It's him. The thing is that in this World Cup, you can't cover your mouth when you speak. So if you cover your mouth when you speak, you'll get a red card. Because a lot of people are being like, you know, saying discriminatory things. When they cover their mouth, they're saying bad things. And then obviously you can't prove that. So they've made a rule in the World Cup. If you cover your mouth when you're speaking to an opposition player, you will get red card straight away. So they've done it to themselves here. Paraguay are down to 10 men. This is a great opportunity for Turkey here. He covered his mouth. And Amorim, of all people, one of the most experienced Paraguay players, probably the most experienced Paraguay player out there, former Newcastle United player, has got the red card. But there you go. I wonder what he said. There. Anyway, Turkey on the left-hand side. Turkey will be buoyed by that. They'll feel like they can win this game now. They've got everything in their court here. But it's been a great game. A really eventful game, should I say, so far. It's been a very eventful game so far, this one. Yeah, well, you can't cover your mouth now to speak, obviously, because when you cover your mouth when you're speaking to someone, obviously it's something sinister, isn't it? It's obviously something you're not saying nice. You're not complimenting them, isn't it? You know, so when you cover your mouth to speak to someone because they think that the cameras are not on them, you can't get away with these things these days. You know, because it happened with Zidane in the World Cup in 2006, the year that Italy won the World Cup, and Materazzi, obviously Zidane headbutted Materazzi, didn't he? Because obviously, there you go. But now I think like to stop these sort of things happening, as soon as you put your hand over your mouth and say something, you get a red card. Simple as that. Because it does look like it does look like he said something bad. So that's probably why. So you can't do that anymore. Anyway, Turkey need to capitalize. There's no excuses now. Shot over the bar. There's no excuses now for Turkey. Ismail with the shot over the bar for Turkey. They got a massive second half coming up here. Huge second half coming up. That red card has really put the cat amongst the pigeons. Turkey will feel like now they can open this game up somewhat, because that is one of the most experienced, if not the most experienced player for Paraguay. Shocked that him, out of all people, played in Europe, played in, at high level. So they're down to 10 men. There's going to be a lot of play acting though. From Paraguay. See, with Paraguay, I did say it at the beginning of the game, they're getting into the play acting and the shenanigans, and they're going to end up, falling flat on their face, definitely, if the play acting and the shenanigans carries on. Do you know what I mean? So we're almost half time here. It should be half time now, definitely. Obviously, the VAR came into play as well. So the VAR came in, and obviously we might get a couple of more minutes. Might be a couple of more minutes here. Here come Turkey. Turkey on the attack here, on the right-hand side, looking to equalize before halftime. What Turkey need to do, they need to stretch this game a little bit, stretch the game a little bit. Tire Paraguay out a little bit. Kadioglu. Pass, a strong pass there. It's a throw into Turkey. We're already 7 minutes into injury time. Here come Turkey. Good opportunity. And it's wide. That should be that for this half. It was Ismail again. Ismail keeps having these ridiculous shots. He's got to calm down a little bit. Yeah, I do think Turkey got massive second half to come. I think they can sacrifice a little bit of their defensive play by bringing on another attacker maybe, and attacking the game a little bit. Still not half time. Here Turkey, maybe one more opportunity before the break. One more opportunity to get forward and equalize. They're not creating enough clear-cut chances, and they need to create more chances. In my opinion, they're having a lot of possession. They're shooting from distance like this. Paraguay would be happy for them to keep shooting from distance. They've got to stop that. That was Abdul Karim, and with that shot, they got to stop these long-range shots. Turkey, it's not working. Especially long-range shots from about 40 yards. That's what they're doing. They've got to be more. They're lacking complete lack of composure in the final third. Complete lack of composure there. It's criminal almost. Every time they get the ball, they're shooting from 40 yards. They just need to be calm. In these good positions, you get into these positions, a lot of energy to get into these positions, and then you're shooting at stupid times. A lot of work to get there. It's not going to work. Again, another shot. Again, it keeps going into the Paraguay team. They've got to stop shooting from 30, 40 yards. This is not the last minute of the game. They got to start opening them up and playing some proper football in the final third and open them up and create some chances. If you keep shooting, I mean, Paraguay would be delighted with you shooting for 40 yards. They'll be happy with that. Keep going, keep shooting. Do you know what I mean? They'll be happy with that, definitely. You know, they'll be happy with that. Sean, I still think Germany for the World Cup. I don't think so. I think there's a lot of teams better than Germany at the moment, Sean. Don't be deceived by carousel. You know what I mean? There's a lot of teams that are better than Germany. England will beat Germany. I'll be delighted if England play Germany in the next round. Germany are not that team. What am I going to be scared of? Havertz, Florian Wirtz? Not really. I want to be deceived by carousel. I think Ivory Coast has smashed them up as well. Halftime, guys. Finally, 8 minutes of halftime there was. Goodness me. Halftime in this game, it's 1-0 to Paraguay. Paraguay are down to 10 men, courtesy of Amiram talking about some smack, I don't know, under the thing. You can't do that in football anymore. If you do that, you're liable to get yourself sent off, because obviously you can say anything under that hand, isn't it? So yeah, rightfully sent off, I would think. You know, there's nothing for Paraguay to complain about. If you're going up to a player and doing that, how do you know what he's how do you know what he's saying? You know what I mean? You know, at the end of the day, how do you know what he's saying? He could be saying anything. So the best thing to do is cover it up like that. You know what I mean? Absolutely. It's just give him a red card. That's the best thing to do. Stop people doing it, wouldn't it? Because so many footballers in the past have done this and gotten away with it. Do you know what I mean? I've said nasty things and horrible things and discriminatory things and got away with it. You know, now they've made the rule: as soon as you cover your mouth and you're speaking to a player, you can get a red card. You know, simple. I agree with that, because we had, obviously, you know, these things need to be put out of the game. It happened to Zidane, as I said, in 2006 World Cup. So these things need to stop, because theoretically, what should have happened in the 2006 World Cup is that Zidane and Materazzi should have been sent off at that time. They should have both been sent off. You know what I mean? But yeah. So, guys, it's halftime here. It has been an entertaining game, unlike the USA game yesterday. Last night, there was an absolute bore fest. But this game has been completely the opposite. It's been drama. It's been excitement. Turkey would be disappointed that they've had a lot of the ball possession, but not created much chances apart from the corner where they hit the post and the bar. They haven't really created anything enough, in my opinion, that would suggest, coming back into this game. Now, what I would say about Turkey, they've got to stop being so rash when they get into the final third. They've got to be more composed and pick the right ball out, because the ball is in their court now. They are the ones with the incentive. They've got the man advantage. They're the ones that need to go out there in the second half and be calm and composed and stop shooting from 40 odd yards, because and hitting the first man, because that is what's destroying them at the moment in that final third. They need to spread the game, get the crosses in, and that's what they need to do, you know, and open Paraguay up, because they will be opened. And to be honest with you, you know, and stop panicking when you get into that position, you know, because they are very immature when it comes to that final third, Turkey, I've noticed. And they've got a lot of quality up there. They've got Kenan Yildiz, they've got Arda Güler up there, very experienced players as well. You know, so they need to do better in that final third. And if they can do better in that final third, they can cut Paraguay open. I do still think it'd be 3-1 to Turkey. I still think they'll score some goals in this second half. I think that Paraguay will collapse eventually. Once Turkey scored the first one, I think they'll collapse eventually. It's interesting to see what Vincenzo Montella will tell Turkey in the second half, how they're going to approach the second half. I would take off a defensive player, and I would try and bring on a more offensive player in regards to that. Maybe bring on another striker. I don't think they need to be so defensive now in regards to, I know they're playing 4-2-3-1, but maybe move one of the anchor midfielders out of the team and put another attacking player in there, maybe to add as an outlet. Let's not forget, Paraguay will tire as well. They're going to get tired. They're gonna end up falling flat on their feet at the moment, and they're doing that right now. You know, the only thing that Paraguay are doing right now is trying to play act somewhat, like a little bit, to have a little bit of gameplay in regards to play acting and stuff like that. Turkey need to be aware of that as well. Do you know what I mean? I would say definitely. But yeah, a good game. I would say probably one of the earliest goals in World Cup history. Let me see what is the earliest goal in World Cup history. Let me have to find out what is the earliest goal in World Cup history. So the earliest goal in World Cup history, it was actually Turkey. It was actually Turkey. Can you believe it? That's a coincidence, eh? So Turkey, the earliest goal was by Hakan Şükür, who was a very good player in the World Cup 2002 against South Korea. It was after 10.89 seconds. Wow, that was this game. This goal was about 50 seconds. This goal was about 50 seconds. The second, yeah, it was Hakan Şükür. Then it was Czechoslovakia in 1962, which was 15 seconds. Ernst Leiner in 1934. Brian Robson, 28 seconds. I remember that. England against France, 28 seconds. I remember. Clint Dempsey, 30 seconds against Ghana in 2014. Guys, goodness me. Yeah, this one's up there, but yeah, there are some much earlier goals than that. But this one is up there. We got everyone in the stream. Thanks for joining me today. Don't forget to smash a like on the video, guys, whilst you're in here. Subscribe to the channel, all that jazz. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Thank you, everyone. It was a magnificent goal, though. One of the goals of the tournament so far. Smashed into the corner. He took his opportunity well, Galaza. But they got it all to do in the second half. One thing's for certain. This group is open. If something happens in the second half, this group is wide open for the final game. And that's what you want, really, isn't it? You want an opportunity for apart from the top team, USA have already qualified. You want an opportunity for every team in that final game, you know? Shane Long, earliest Premier League goal. Go on the Irish. Where are the Irish? Why are they not here? 48 teams. Come on. Yeah, I remember that. I do remember that Shane Long goal. It was a good goal. It was a good goal. Big up Shane Long, of course, and big up Ireland. Would be nice that if you were here in this World Cup, you know what I mean? But you're not, sadly. I'm still going for Turkey to score 3 goals. I did say 3-1 before the game to Turkey. With the talent that they've got at the disposal up front, I still think they can open up Paraguay 3 times. I think so. They have got a lot of talent there. I mean, I'm a big fan of Gulen. I'm a big fan of Kenan Yildiz. If those two can get into the game and more, I think they can do all right. They'll be all right. I do think Turkey lack like a proper striker. You know what I mean? A proper striker. Kadioglu, very good player on the left. That's why a lot of if you watch the game, a lot of the players coming on the left, you know, Yildiz and Kadioglu. You're seeing a lot of play coming on the left, nothing on the right. You know, and this is the thing what Turkey have always done, isn't it? They've always had selection of really good world-class, sometimes world-class players, and then players, you know what I mean, in the team. You know what I mean? But yeah, whilst they're down to 10 men, obviously the red card for Paraguay, Almarim, guys, with the red card, obviously one of the most experienced Paraguay players as well. You know, it will affect Paraguay eventually. They've got the all to do. Do they have the character to do it? Do they have the character to hold on? Do they have the character to respond if they concede? You know, and this is the thing, isn't it? You know, this is what you're going to find out. It's what we're going to find out here. Got the legends in the house, by the way. Thank you, everyone who's joined me today. Big up, everyone. Yeah, the most entertaining game, one of the most entertaining games, the most entertaining game, of course, of England, you know, was against Croatia. That was the most entertaining game so far, in my opinion. It was a game with so many different bits of it. You know, you had the first half where it was absolute chaos. You had, you know, at the end of the day. We are in a rebuild. Have the talent. Please come on, Rice and Grealish. F Rice and Grealish, mate. We don't even need them, mate. England have got so many players, Sean. We don't even need Rice and Grealish. And anyway, you're relying on English academies to have your players, mate. If it weren't for English academies, there'd be no Ireland. That's it at the end of the day. I love Ireland, but let's be real here. Rice and Grealish, come on, mate. Look at have you seen England's squad? Like, we're leaving out Lewis Skelly and people like that who dominated, you know, finals in Champions League. No, mate. Like, we're not interested in Rice. I think Rice is overrated. I think Anderson is better. You know what I mean? And I also think Kobe Mainu is pretty good too. You know what I mean? So, at the end of the day, look, you know, make excuses for yourself. At the end of the day, that's it. You know, how many English players have been English and played for Ireland? You know, there you go. That's the thing. You gotta be real here, man. You gotta be real. You know, you gotta be real. On this channel, we're real, and I'll tell it as it is. Without the English academies, without the Man Uniteds, the Liverpools, the Aston Villas, and that, there would be no Irish football team to it. You'd be as good as bloody San Marino, probably. Absolutely. But I love Ireland. You know what I mean? But Ireland, in my opinion, the best Ireland team was in 1994. It was in 1994 and 95, and that was the Ireland. That was the peak of Ireland. What has happened to Ireland? Where is the Keanes, the Irwins, you know, the Robbie Keanes, you know, the Townsends, you know, the Stauntons, the McGraths, you know, the Packy Bonners, you know, where are they? Where are they? I don't see them anymore, you know. So they've got to look at themselves in the mirror, and shoulda, woulda, coulda doesn't work in football. You know what I mean? You just have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, look, we're not producing the talent that we should have done. We used to. Cascarino. You know, you're not looking at that time. There was a time back in about the mid-90s where I thought, oh, Ireland, you know what? I wouldn't like to play Ireland. Oh, my goodness me, what a team. And it frustrates me because I want them to do well because I got a lot of love for them. You know what I mean? And it frustrates me, but you can't use excuses. Do you know what I mean? In regards to Declan Rice and Grealish, they're shit, mate. Compared to what I witnessed in England, like Beckham and Scholes and, you know, all these players. Grealish and Declan Rice. Declan Rice is one of the most overrated, overhyped players there is in Europe, mate. I'll tell you that right now. He's a guy that as soon as the camera goes on his face, right? As soon as the camera goes on his face, he's doing this. Come on, boys. Come on. He's doing that. He's such a fake. Watch him in the Champions League final when he was on the floor, and then the camera went to him. He was doing all this. Don't give up. Don't give up. Come on. Roy Keane was the best central defensive midfielder, number 8, number 6, whatever you want, in the history of Premier League English football, right? At the end of the day, that's a player, right? But if any Irish person's crying about Declan Rice or Grealish, it just shows you the levels, because I look at them and I think, they're shit, mate. You know what I mean? I'll be honest, compared to what it was in the past. And that is where you need to cut it off. That's where you say, well, F Rice, F Grealish, we're going to make our own team. You know what I mean? That's it. Who needs them? Let's wait and see. Look, you know what? I would have loved to see them at the World Cup. They should have been at the World Cup. We've got a lot of average teams in this World Cup. Like, you're seeing them today, and you're going to see them tomorrow. You saw them yesterday. There is a lot of average here. I know it is unfair that European qualifiers are very difficult. They're much more harder, for example, than Carousel had to qualify. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. It's difficult, but you've got the likes of Albania and Hungary and Denmark and Ukraine and, you know, all these teams, Serbia, not at the World Cup, you know? And that's it. We've got players like Varis Kelia, one of the best left winger in the world, not at the World Cup. Yeah, I think they need to look at that. The qualification period is not good, you know. It's not good. Big up, by the way, Sean. Big up, everyone's joining me today. Listen, hi, Sal. Big up yourself. Missed those fighting moments till now from the World Cup. Yeah, it's actually been refreshing to see, Lisa. And actually, finally, we got a little bit of a bite in the team, you know, in a game. Finally, do you know what I mean? It's been a little bit blah, like so far, the World Cup. It's been like, yeah, you know what I mean? There's been no edge to it, if you know what I mean, you know? Obviously, the water breaks and the hydration breaks are taking away a lot of the edge and taking away a lot of the excitement, in my opinion. I think definitely. I think they're taking away a lot of the excitement, a lot of the edge. Turkey are making a substitution here. Let me have a look who's coming on. They've got 12 shots on target in the first half. I was surprised by that. Massive half. The number 21 is coming on for Turkey, which is, of course, let me just look at the lineups. So, in regards to Turkey, the number 21 is coming on. That is Baris Alpa Yilmaz. Now, he's an attacker. He plays for Galatasaray, the 26-year-old. Left, like he can play left. He's more of a left winger than anything. He's more of a left winger than anything. You know. Anyway, so it's a substitute. We're making that substitution now. Obviously, a massive half in this half of obviously of this World Cup group. You know, Group D, a massive half. He who dares wins, basically. At the end of the day, Turkey have got a big opportunity here, having a man advantage, of course. So, yeah, who dares wins, definitely 100%. Let's wait and see how it is. Bobadilla's coming on for Paraguay as well, defensive player. Obviously, they're going to try and hold on for dear life, isn't it? Definitely, they're going to try and hold on. Paraguay will be kicking off the second half. Massive half coming up. Can we get an entertaining? So, as we stand in this group, if I go back to the group, as we stand, if it ends like this, Turkey could be going out of the tournament. So they will be on 0 points. Paraguay will be on 3, Australia 3, and USA 6 points. At the moment, Paraguay have -2 goal difference. Yeah. Turkey will be out because they got -3. They'll be out even if they win the final game. Probably they'll be out. So they're going to have to win this game, in my opinion, because unless they have a swing in goal difference in the last game, they can't draw this game even. I think it really, because their record is not that great. It comes to Turkey straight away on the attack. It's going to be backs to the wall job, of course, for Paraguay this half. Backs to the wall job. They get an early goal in the second. Look, they're shooting for 30 yards again. This time it's saved by the goalkeeper, but they're shooting for 40 yards again. Turkey, they've got to stop these defenders shooting. If Turkey want to progress in this game, they've got to stop getting their centre backs on the ball and shooting. That's what they've got to stop doing, because if they keep doing that, Paraguay will eat that food and drink every single day. That's what they would do. You know, if you keep shooting for 40 yards, that's one of the first things I would have told my team at halftime. Stop bloody shooting for 40 yards. You're centre back. Pass the ball in the wing, play that ball, spread the game. You know, you've got a man advantage. Tire Paraguay. You've got to tire them, make them tired. And then they're not going to be used to this sort of situation. And that's what you have to do rather than shooting from 40, 50 yards every single time. It's ridiculous. Kadioglu on the left-hand side. They're going to shoot again in a minute. I know they are. It's a habit. First time ball, corner to Turkey. Try and shoot from the corner now, wouldn't they? Yeah, it's a corner to Turkey. So Arda Güler will be taking the corner for them. Can he get a good ball into the box? No, is the answer. Corner's got to be better than that. Set pieces have been poor, my opinion. Corners and that have got to be better. Definitely got to be better than that, in my opinion. But here Turkey again on the attack here. No rest for the wicked. Here they go. Side netting. That was Kenan Yildiz with the strike on the side of the net. They're not looking up. They're not looking up. They're kind of panicking in one way, I would say. They're kind of panicking. They're not looking up. They're not really, you know. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, guys, if you're new, lurking in the background and stuff like that. Big up everyone. Big up Greg. How you doing, mate? Good to see you again. So Paraguay down to 10 men. Turkey dominated this game from the moment that Paraguay scored. After around 50 seconds, it's been all Turkey. But the most important thing is that score in the top left-hand corner for me, which is 1-0 to Paraguay. And as long as Paraguay keep it 1-0, they'll be happy with that. Turkey are not really doing enough in regards to attacking, in regards to chances created. They have themselves to blame for that. They're dominating the game, but dominating the game doesn't win titles, mate. You need to get those results. You know what I mean? And yeah, they got a big opportunity here with 10 against 11. I am getting enough, Greg. Thanks, mate. I am. Of course I am. I'm fitting it in, mate. I'm getting my 5-6 hours. That's enough. I am getting my 5-6 hours sleep, definitely. Yeah. If I did the watch along for Morocco against Scotland, I probably wouldn't have got this. I probably wouldn't have got the sleep. But that's the thing. But because that kicked off 2 a.m. for me. But yeah, I'm getting enough. Thanks for asking. I'm getting a lot of rest. Saturday, enjoy it. Start of the day well. Start of the day in the right way. Yeah, and that's what it is. Turkey are losing by 1 goal, courtesy of Galaza's 50-second strike, of course. But here come Turkey on the right hand side. Can they create something finally? I mean, they've hit the post and the bar, and that's about it. But other than that, I haven't really seen them carve them open too much. Good cross, cleared away well by Paraguay. Paraguay bats against the wall. That's what it is at the moment. Bats against the wall for Paraguay. It's going to have to be. They come out of this unscathed after being down to 10 men for so long. It will give them a huge amount of confidence, won't it? Anyway, cross comes in. Now, first man beaten as well. Again, that quality there from Turkey in the final third is not good enough. It's definitely not good enough. That quality is definitely not good enough. Big up, Greg. Big up everyone in the stream. Thank you, everyone who's joined me today. Yeah, the quality definitely needs to be a lot better than this, 100%. If Turkey have aspirations to win this game, obviously it's good. If it's a draw, it goes to the final game of the group, and they would have to win and hope that they have enough for them to have one of the best third place finishes. So if it's a draw, but at this moment in time, they'd be going out. Yeah, they'd be going out in the World Cup if they don't back up their ideas. And they have some. And the thing with Turkey, they have a lot of potential. You know what I mean? They have a lot of potential. They have the likes of Kenan Yildiz, Arda Güler, Real Madrid, Kenan Yildiz, Juventus, and they'll be going out the World Cup. You see, that's how quickly things can escalate. Cross comes in. Obviously, you can't do much about the goal. You know, the goal was a great goal. I mean, when someone kicks a ball from 30 yards and it goes right into the corner, you really can't do anything about it. But since then, I haven't looked at Turkey and felt, yeah, they've had a lot of possession. They've dominated the game, but I haven't seen, I can't think of many chances that they've created. They need to create more chances, you know, and that's what I would say. They need to do better. They need to definitely create more chances. Anyway, Turkey are here on the right-hand side here. On the left now, he's got it in. Can he get the cross in? No. Turkey still haven't scored a goal in this tournament, by the way. They still haven't scored a goal in this tournament. It's obviously they lack a number 9, don't they? They obviously lack a proper number 9, don't they? But they haven't scored a goal in this tournament yet. That's a big waste of time, isn't it? Well, I don't think the manager can play act anything. He's already got a yellow card. The manager, he could be sent off as well. Do you know, why don't they, if they give the manager a red card, the team doesn't really get affected much, does it? Like on the pitch. So why don't, I mean, if a manager gets a red card, shouldn't they take off a player off the pitch? I don't understand, because obviously the manager can still communicate from the stands, you know. Free kick to Paraguay. Turkey just need to calm down here. They need to calm down here. They need to be a little bit more composed in the final third, because they're really giving Paraguay an opportunity here. Paraguay, to be honest with you, Greg, what I've seen from Paraguay this tournament, they haven't impressed me. They scored a great goal, but since then they've been sitting back, even before the red card. Some of these South American teams are not that good, to be honest with you. Ecuador and Paraguay, they make up the numbers. That's what they do, you know. And to be honest with you, I'm not that impressed with a lot of them. You know, 6 defeats Brazil had in this qualification period. You know, when they qualified, 6 defeats. There are teams in Europe who had no defeats and are out of the World Cup. You know, that's what we're looking at. You know, 6 defeats for a team in the World Cup. Anyway, here come Paraguay, though. Paraguay looking to counterattack. Well tackled. I knew he'd do that. I knew he'd stick out his leg. I knew he'd do that. Yeah, they. I suppose, Greg, but there are too many of them qualify. There's too many. So I think South American teams, definitely too many, mate. There's too many. A lot of them are very average. You know, there's too many of them, and every World Cup, same thing. Every World Cup's the same thing. You know, it's the same thing. You know, they come in, they get knocked out. They come in, they get knocked out. You know, but I agree. Yes, Greg, because you can't go up to somebody and do this and say something and get away with it, because if you who knows what he said. You know, it's already in the rule book that you can't do this anymore and say anything like that. Chance, oh, it's a good cross. It just went wide. You can't do that. It was justified. You can't go up to someone and do that and say something. What do you expect he said? Something nice? Did he give him a compliment? You know? So it's a red card now. I think I agree with that, because teams players so many times have got away with saying horrible things of a discriminatory nature, and they've got away with it because you can't prove it. So now what they've done, because there's lip readers, so what players were doing, they're putting their hand over their mouth and saying things to players, hoping that no one will hear it. The player gets upset, angry, and he runs to the referee. So now the rule is, and I agree with the rule, that if you do that, you get a red card straight away. He should be, Greg. Been watching football, mate. It's a right rule, man. It's a right rule. Oh my goodness! Another chance for Turkey. This time it's another poor finish. Lack of composure. I mean, imagine someone puts their hand over their mouth and says something racist or sexist or discriminatory towards his family or anything like that. Imagine he does that. How can you get away with that sort of thing? It happened with Zinedine Zidane, as I said, in 2006 World Cup, and Zinedine Zidane is the one that got sent off. You know. Morning, Jay. What's going on? Hope you're doing well. Good to see. Yes, good to see Cunha getting 2 goals. Congratulations to Cunha. Again, another team, Haiti. I mean, guys. The little we say, the better, really, isn't it? It's a day out for them. Give me a day out of the World Cup then. Let me make a little football team and we'll have a day out. What do you think of the Scotland game? Oh, it's parried here from the goalkeeper. What did I think of the Scotland game? No surprise. As soon as Scotland come up against a decent side, they'll lose. Simple as that. You know? One thing I was shocked about, Greg, is coming from Almiron, who is a ex-Newcastle player. So he's one of their most experienced players. For him to do something like that, it's disgraceful. He's one of their most experienced players. I wouldn't expect it from him because he's like, when he played in the Premier League, he was like one of those, he was a calm player. He wasn't like a troublemaker. But yeah, in regards to Scotland, no surprise. They lost that game. When they come up against someone decent, they will lose. It's as simple as that. They can sing all they want. They do what they want. Bottom line is, you know, they're not a very good football team, mate. And they will lose when it comes to the crunch. They did very well to get to the World Cup, though. I would say that very well. If it was for national anthems and stuff like that, they'll probably win the World Cup. But unfortunately, World Cup's not won on national anthems, are they? And screaming and shouting and bagpipes and whatnot. You know what I mean? They are, you know, you have to do what's on the pitch at the end of the day. Chance of Paraguay here. Good little bit of play. Poor finish. Poor finish there. Got to do better than that. But done all the hard work. And then when it came up to that, the most important part, it was a poor finish. Yeah, Morocco won 1-0 earlier today. Early goal. That's about it. And it was the game was over. However, like when you're looking at the last game of the group, Scotland against Brazil. Scotland against Brazil. Brazil are not necessarily through. Brazil have got 4 points. So Brazil have got to think like, you know, they might have to win. They have to win to solidify their qualification. They might think, well, we want to win this group. You know what I mean? So Scotland against Brazil is big. Just 1998. Remember that? There's a lot of repeats in this tournament from 1998. Turkey. One thing about Turkey, I would say, not really good strikers. they don't really have good play, you know, in regards to creating chances. They're very tiki-taka on the edge of the box. They got to start getting... this is a good ball. And it's straight at the goalkeeper. My goodness me, what a soft header. You can't be wasting those chances. They've got half an hour to go, Paraguay, to hold on. A draw would be interesting. It would leave it wide open. I just don't think that both of these teams is worth them going to the next round, is it? You know? Chance for Turkey, and it's another very poor finish. Very, very poor finish. It's like he's forgotten how to curl the ball, Yildiz. It's a very poor finish. You've got to curl the ball, mate. They play Brazil next. Think they will stay on 3 points. Don't think that there will be enough for Scotland to be. It might be. I think there'll probably be one team, isn't it, Jay, that probably will qualify for on 3 points, but it's going to be very difficult because there's going to be a lot of teams on 4 points. It's unfortunate because it's such a difficult group, you know, and you got some teams are playing carousel, you know, some teams are playing bloody Brazil. Do you know what I mean? It's not fair, you know what I mean? But that's football. And at the end of the day, This referee is just chaos. Another yellow card, this time for Vincenzo Montella on the touchline. Yeah, this referee is chaos. Sal, it's Neymar Jr. I don't know, it's currently most overrated. He's always been very overrated, mate. Very good player, but just because you're a good player doesn't mean you're not overrated. You can rate a player and say he's a good player, but the level of the player that you rate him is too overrated. I actually think that he is a little bit overrated, yeah. In fact, significantly overrated, in my opinion. That's to do with himself. That's to do with himself as well. His attitude and his professionalism over the last, 10, 20 years. He done all right for a period at Barcelona. I think he was all right at Barcelona. Maybe would have done better if he went to Man United. You know what I mean? And he was, maybe that would have been better for him. Maybe if he went to Man United. It's a bit like Gascoigne, isn't it? When he's a bit like Gascoigne. Gascoigne Gazza was a problem as well. Here come Turkey though. Good position, corner. Corner there. Guys, you haven't told me I'm going to set this up. What's it? How many minutes we got? 18. Yeah, two managers on yellow cards now. Both managers are on the yellow card. It's going to be a thing. Paraguay are going to be making a substitute. 25 minutes to go. Still 1-0 to Paraguay. Still 1-0 to Paraguay. Yeah, Greg. It's exactly what I've been talking about. I do speak a lot about, footballers who dads were footballers. I've said this a lot. It is like footballers who dads were footballers. Basically, if your dad was a footballer, you've had all the favoritism there is to have. You've got the contacts, you've got, the doors that are open for you that otherwise wouldn't be open for anyone else. Strike, another stupid strike from another stupid player from, it's just shooting from 40 yards. I mean, ridiculous. This is what Turkey have been doing. Thanks everyone for joining me this morning. I appreciate it. Thanks so much. You guys are the best. It's a goal kick anyway. All this time's going to be added on anyway. That's the thing, Greg. It's exactly what I'm talking about. This is why I don't like it at Man United, Gregory, because obviously, like, fair play to Tyler Fletcher and Jack Fletcher, but they're only in the Man United squad because of Darren Fletcher. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. And I would say the same about Wayne Rooney's son. Just because you're the son of a legend doesn't mean you have every single right to play for United, for example, Because the best thing, the thing is, the blessing is in the struggle. It's a bit like Serena and Venus Williams in tennis, right? And let me give an example. Like with Venus, Serena Williams in tennis, they're from CPT, they're from Compton, right? So they've got that little bit of edge about them from the upbringing, right? And that you can't fabricate that upbringing. Rooney had it, when he was younger. He had that edge about him, that street, so to speak. You know what I mean? He had that little bit of edge about him. When players are brought into teams and they've been nurtured, they've been pampered, they've had everything on the plate, they're rich, and you can tell they are because their attitude stinks, right? Then they lack that little bit of know-how. Like they haven't come from that difficulties in their life. They've been given it. You know what I mean? They've had everything on a plate. So they don't, when adversity strikes, they don't know how to handle adversity. Now, even when Man United won the treble, you had Scholes, you had Keane, you had Irwin, you had Giggs, you had Butts, you had Cole, you had all these players, Dwight York, and all these players had upbringings. They weren't gifted, the opportunity to be a footballer. They earned it, and there's a difference between that. There's a difference between having it on a plate and earning it. You know what I mean? And that's what happened. Damn, they have need 100 to foul here. I mean, they're not. I mean, at the end of the day. Well, this game, they've got they've got literally about 22 minutes to go, Turkey. In my opinion, Gregory, at what I've seen, no. I think that, but obviously that time will tell. I just don't. I have as I said, I have my reservations about players that have their dads who used to be footballers, and that goes the same with Kai Rooney and all that. I think Jim Thwaites and players like that ahead of him. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I'm so excited about JJ Gabriel and Shea Lacey and Mentato and Kokunki and these players, because they weren't given favoritism. I don't like favoritism in football. Because the great players. I mean, there's only a couple of players in history that their dad has been good. A player, and the son has become a world class player. Only a few. That have become decent. There you go. And for example, let me give an example. Zinedine Zidane, right? One of the greatest players ever to play the game. His son plays for Algeria in goal. It was so evident in that Algeria game against Argentina that he was not good enough, right? The goals he let in were pathetic, parrying the ball out straight to Messi, letting the ball go through his hands, everything. That's exactly what. And everyone could see that he's only become a footballer. He's only playing for Algeria because his dad plays for France. His dad's half Algerian. His dad is Algerian, but played for France. That's the only reason he played for Algeria. And you can see it. And that's what I'm talking about. It's like the detriment, isn't it, of the team, because you get opportunity, because there are players out there probably better than him in goal. They're probably better than him. No, but they're not getting an opportunity because daddy was a footballer. You know what I mean? And that's what I was saying. And it's very rare that you get good players. There are some, of course. I'm not saying everyone, but you should become a good footballer if you've got your dad. Your dad's a footballer and you've got all the best trainers in the world from a young age, Like this is why I felt Frank Lampard was probably the best. Obviously, Frank Lampard's dad wasn't a world-class footballer, though. He was a footballer. But again, Frank Lampard, obviously, the reason I don't put him in the mold of Scholes, because I do think that Frank Lampard was a little bit of a bottler in big moments as well, because of his probably had a pampered upbringing as well. You know what I mean? Raja, don't really know, was quite young. Did Sir Alex play Rooney as a hold-up player striker? He used to drift wide. Rooney played everywhere across the front three. He almost had a free role. Rooney wasn't a proper number 9. He was more like a out and out striker, you would call it. But it was a gunman, and he wasn't a poacher. Alex, he basically had the freedom of the pitch, to be honest with you. He was good enough. He was definitely good enough in that period, definitely. Yeah, in my opinion. We got 20 minutes to go. Strike, another stupid strike from Turkey. What are they doing? What are they? They don't deserve to go through with all these stupid strikes from 30, 40 yards. I told you one of the biggest problems with Turkey is this. You've got an overlapping run on the right-hand side, and he's just shooting from stupid angles. What are you doing? Selfish, arrogant. If Man United sign even another bench third signing midfielder, then they will have to move elsewhere, looking like. if Man United signed even another bench stings, if Man United signed even another bench third signings, yeah, don't know what you mean there, my man, Rajat. Man United had the perfect blend then, fan. Man United had obviously Tevez, Rooney, and Rooney in there, and Ronaldo. They had the perfect blend there. It was the best front three I've ever seen in my life, ever. I don't care what anyone says. Tevez, Rooney, and Ronaldo was the best front three I've seen in my life. Cross comes in, cleared away. The best combination I've seen was Dwight York and Andy Cole. The best trio I've seen is Rooney, Ronaldo, and Tevez. Definitely. They complemented each other so well. Each one of them had something about them, but each one of them had that little bit of grit about them. Do you know what I mean? Another shot from Turkey, and this time it's saved. It was a steady shot, but again, eventually one's going to get saved. They're going to poor from the poor play. Poor play. Turkey are really annoying me. They're really frustrating to watch, ain't they? Thank God I don't support them. And they're really frustrating to watch. If I was an England fan and I'm seeing like bloody Konza shooting for 40 yards every 5 minutes, I'd be absolutely fuming. You know what I mean? That's how good the squad was, Rajat. The squad was just so good. We had players like PK, Nani. We had a great squad. We even had Ryan Giggs still there and Scholes and, adding us experience. We had such a blend of experience and leadership and aggression and youth. It was just the best, mate. No one could touch that team. No one can touch that team. I'm telling you, like, you want to talk about Arsenal. That team would destroy this Arsenal team 6-0 easily any day of the week. Cross comes in. Another poor one. And it's another corner. The reason they let Tevez go to City is because Man United promised Tevez a new contract, fan. They promised him all year a new contract. And they never got him, they never gave him the contract. So he felt it was a disrespect. Cross comes in. Another striker. They're striking again. These defenders need to be taken. I'll tell him if you shoot one more time, I'll be like, you're going off the pitch. I'll be like that straight away. Guys, don't forget I'm back. I think talent-wise, but the best of all time is 98, 99. As a team, it was the best because of they achieved the treble. They've done the treble. The best factually is 98, 99. They achieved the treble. They achieved what nobody else could. Talent-wise, 2008. Spirit, determination, team, camaraderie, 99. Cross coming in. That's another record. Honestly, Turkey been toothless. What's the point? Gregory, the Chelsea fans love Lamps. Lampard, Drogba, Essie, and Ballack. Check the rest worked well under Mourinho during the Chelsea period. State the obvious, Greg. Obvious, Greg. Hour. Here we go. Lampard was nowhere near Scholes. Nowhere near Scholes. He took penalties, and Scholes still has almost as many goals as him, and he didn't take penalties. Lampard took penalties and free kicks, and Scholes still has nearly as many. I think it's only about 10, 15 goal difference. You see, Scholes was just better. Here come Turkey, though. Are they going to finally stop being toothless? This guy with the Mohi, like this team is just honestly so frustrating to watch. I'll be honest. Paul isn't good. Paul is world class, mate. Paul's one of the best. I don't think you watched him play, fan. Nobody says Paul is good. Paul was, yeah, Irfan. You guys, you newbies never watched him play. It was just he was elite, mate. You know, elite. He was significantly better, but they wouldn't tell you that in the media. You know, they wouldn't. And too many chuff monsters who were, but weren't even born. They don't understand how good he was. You know, yet Pep Guardiola, you know, Zinedine Zidane, Xavi, Iniesta all say he was the best English player of a generation. But you know, Scousers will start talking about Gerrard. Or the only thing for Gerrard's good at bottoming things. That's what Gerrard is good at. Gerrard is good at giving the ball back to France in Euro 2004. That's what Gerrard's good at. You know, Gerrard's good at giving away the ball to Demba Ba. That's a Slippy G. That's what Gerrard's good at. Don't give me this crap that they fluked to Champions League against AC Milan and all of a sudden, do you know what I mean? You know, they cast him as better than Paul Scholes. Paul Scholes was an all-rounder. He was an all-rounder. If Gerrard was so good, how comes in that team that included Alonso and Mascherano couldn't win the league? You know? Come on, man. Scholes was levels above Gerrard, levels above Lampard, levels above any English midfielder in that generation. Levels, man. Honestly. I think everyone in the stream is joining me today, though. I do appreciate it. I still remember the slippage. I remember it, mate. Like, look, listen. Like, why do they place him above Scholes? In what world is he above Scholes? Because he makes funny faces and can shoot from 30 yards sometimes. You know, is that why they cast him better than Scholes? No, mate. That's why Scholes scored him 9 times out of 10 in games. You know what I mean? It's just an idiotic opinion from someone who was born in 2004. I mean, it's an idiotic opinion. Or a Liverpool fan would say that. A Liverpool fan would try and justify that because the media tell him that. Paul Scholes, people don't understand. Paul Scholes is humble as well. So you know what Liverpool fans will say? They will say even Paul Scholes said he was better than. Even Paul Scholes will say he's better because Paul Scholes was. Oh my God, what a poor finish again. Because Paul Scholes is humble. Gary Neville's humble. Man United were raised. The Man United football team were raised humble by Sir Alex Ferguson. None of them will come out and say I was the best. None of them. Gary Neville, Paul Scholes, anything. They'll say no, you were the best. Great players do that. Great players don't need to say I'm the best. But Gerrard needs to. Lampard needs to. You know? It's like this Thierry Henry argument in the Premier League. Like they act like he's the best player in Premier League history. I've seen every single Premier League season. He is not. He's a lie. You know? 10 minutes to go. Turkey are absolutely useless right now as we speak. They're not doing anything. They haven't even tested the goalkeeper properly. I've been very disappointed in the 2 games. And at the moment, Turkey deserve to be knocked out of this World Cup as we stand. They deserve to be out of this World Cup. The way they played, honestly, in the 2 games. I mean, to lose against that Australian team yesterday, I'm sorry, guys. That Australian team, it looked like they could be playing for 10 years. They wouldn't put the ball in the back of the net. They were useless, mate. I've never seen such useless in my life. They'll probably lose to New Zealand. They were so bad. Couldn't believe how bad they were. Anyway, here come Turkey. They've got about 9 minutes to save their World Cup here. And again, wide. Another stupid shot. They're not even close with them shots as well. They're acting like it's close, but it's not even close. Every time they're shooting, it's going either hitting the first man or going wide of the post. Nothing is on target. You know, this is the thing. Nothing is going on target. It's jokes, really. Don't forget to join me, guys, for Breaking Dawn. I will be here for Breaking Dawn. It's usual time, guys. I will be here giving you the latest and greatest. Going to make a phone call after this game, get to know some news. I haven't even done it yet. I've got to do that. At the moment, it's Paraguay. I mean, I'm a bit upset at Paraguay because obviously I have my feeling of what Amarim said. So I'm not happy with them. They can F off all I care. They can get out of this tournament. Useless team. Bloody useless team. Turkey are not doing anything to cause them a problem, and Paraguay are rubbish. Scholes had an area four pace outside the area, large goalkeepers area where Scholes would shoot absolute screamers into the top net. It was a thing of beauty to watch. Scholes was just better all-round player, mate. Everything. He could shoot. He could dictate play. You know, the only thing he was bad at was tackling. But who needs to tackle when you're playing in his position? He was an attacking player. You know, so it was everything that every one of them Lampard, Gerrard wished. He was Lampard, Gerrard in one. That's what he was. In one. He was Lampard and Gerrard in one. And anyone who disagrees is just biased. All other players say Scholes is world class quality over Stevie G is a passion merchant. He was a good passion merchant, but he was a passion merchant. That's what he was. You know, bottled it for England, bottled it. I mean, if England, let me tell you something about England, right? If England decided this, right? If they decided to play Michael Carrick instead of Gerrard, England would have won the World Cup. I'll tell you right now. They decided to play Scholes and Carrick, they would have won the World Cup. Trust me. Trust me on that one. You got players like, you know, players that dominating football and that, and then they're not, you know, dominating English football and they're not in the first team of England. It's madness. And free kick. Chance. Good save from the keeper. First chance of the half for Paraguay. First chance of the half. Jamie Carragher was supposedly scored a lot more own goals. Yeah, he scored a lot more own goals, than goals. He talks too much, mate. It's like what Jose Mourinho says, isn't it? He talks a lot for not even being in the top 1,000 defenders of all time. You know, he's got a point, you know. He's got a point. He talks a lot for not even being the top 1,000 defenders of all time. Turkey need to do something. They need to pull something out the bag here. They are really not looking like scoring in 10 years. Hey, they are. Oof. It's a throw into Paraguay, and the Paraguay down play acting again. They need to stop play acting in football. That's what they need to stop. If they're going to stop anything, they need to stop bloody play acting. Scholes was a proper footballer, Ephraim. Scholes was a proper footballer. Gerrard was a vibe footballer. You know, a vibe footballer. You know, Lampard took lots of free kicks and penalties, and they act like, but technically, Lampard wasn't great. Let me tell you, side passes. He wasn't great, but he got the accolades because he could shoot, he could take free kicks, and he can score penalties. And that's why, but even when you look at the numbers, considering that Lampard took penalties and Lampard took free kicks, Scholes is not far away. Scholes didn't take penalties and free kicks. Corner kick. I mean, obviously Turkey have dominated this game, but this is not good. They haven't even laid a glove on that goal. You know what I mean? And Paraguay have been down to 10 men, and you're looking at Paraguay and you're thinking Paraguay ain't one of the best teams. You know what I mean? And it's the way they're playing. It's a free kick. It's a free kick here. Whatever reason. We got about 5 minutes to go past injury time. There'd be a significant amount of injury time, I would have thought, in this game. I don't know. I think we could be playing until tomorrow. I don't think Turkey are going to score the way Turkey are playing. I just don't think they're going to score. I mean, the way they're playing is just so, yeah. You know what I mean? My goodness me. They lack so much composure in the final third. It's unbelievable. I've been watching this game, and they haven't really laid siege on the goal as much as they should have, especially. Carrick was extremely overrated, Raja. I don't think it's a bad take. Carrick was extremely overrated, and Carrick was one of the best midfielders in the world, right? And I agree. Obviously, the likes of Busquets and the likes of Xavi and Iniesta, they had each other, didn't they? They had each other. Carrick was a one-man army, innit? And that's what the thing, isn't it? You know, I think a lot of players would thrive with Busquets, Xavi, and Iniesta in their team behind them. Like, it's like Messi, innit? You know, he was very fortunate to have those players behind him. You know what I mean? Obviously, Messi had the talent, but his talent was even more pushed to a level because of them, and people underestimate that. And let's not forget that was Frank Rijkaard's team, by the way. Turkey have been so dominant in this tournament. I thought they were going to be a team to watch as well. Me too, Jay. With Kenan Yildiz and Arda Güler. They do it all the time, Jay. They do it all the time. Every time Turkey, they have since 2002, ever since people say, yeah, Turkey are going to be a team to watch out for, they have a disappointing tournament all the time. It's like they have talented players. It's just that they have this. This is wrong. The temperament. They don't have the temperament. Cross from Paraguay. They never have the temperament. They're not good at any World Cup. Rajat, maybe this Turkey manager tactics are hindering them because they are definitely nice quality. Yeah, I don't think Vincenzo Montella is a good manager. No, I don't think he should be the Turkey manager. If an Ancelotti managed Turkey or something, you would see a different Turkey, wouldn't you? Definitely. Here come Turkey, though. Chance here. This time, can they get it this time? This time, oh my goodness me, what a miss. That is composure for you. What a miss. He had time to control it as well. That's what we're talking. What a miss. He would have been offside. He would have been offside. I think he would have been offside there. I think he would have been offside, yeah, because it was offside. Yeah, but that was a big miss there. We've got a few minutes left of this game. It was a huge miss. Big up Ephraim. Turkey not good. No, they're not. I mean, I said it. I said anyone who loses to that Australian team, goodness me. I mean, I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I said maybe it's the first game, nerves or something like that. You know what I mean? But that Australian team, right? Having watched them yesterday, I've never been so underwhelmed and bored in my life. They were so poor. And I'm thinking, how the hell did Turkey lose to that? And lose 2-0? God blimey. It's just a shame that England ain't playing one of them, Jay. Would love England to play one of those. It's another change for 7 minutes of injury. I thought it would have been more than 7 minutes. Thought it would have been more than 7 minutes this game. There was a lot of play acting, a lot of there was a hydration break, of course, as well. I thought it would have been more than 7 minutes. Don't forget to join me, guys, for Man United news. Paraguay wasting time. Paraguay are wasting a lot of time here. Come on, man. I ain't got all day, man. Just get your useless butt up and get off the pitch. You're not going to win the World Cup. Just get up and get off the pitch, man. You're rubbish. Get off the pitch. For goodness sake. Come on. Stop wasting everyone's time. So we're up here to bloody, I've got Breaking Dawn to do and everything like that. Get off the pitch. You snowflake. Oh my, honestly, God, these teams are just like, stop wasting time, man. You're not going to win the World Cup. Just play football. Goodness me. Come on. Honest to God. I wish they would end this nightmare for me because this, at the end of the day, like they're going to add another couple of minutes on for that, Big up, Sam. How you doing, mate? Hope you're well. These play acting, mate. You're not going to win the World Cup. Bloody, just bloody play football. Stop going, oh, my leg, oh, wasting time. Crying out loud. Come on. You know what I mean? Cunha's underrated, Sam. Cunha's underrated. Big up Cunha. Cunha's underrated. But you know what, Sam? It's Haiti, mate. I can get a bunch of lads together from Abu Dhabi that will beat Haiti. Anyway, coming Here come Abu Dhabi. Um, CR7 to win the World Cup. I don't know. I don't know. Looking at Portugal, I'm not that impressed. And as usual, Portugal have all this hype before the tournament, and then when it comes to the crunch, when it comes to the big time, they don't do well in the World Cup. In World Cup, Brazil are not the Brazil they used to be, but they're a decent side, but they're not the Brazil that they used to be. You know, but they obviously used to be a very, very good team, didn't they? But they're not the Brazil that they used to be. I'm just waiting for this game to end, guys. That's what I'm waiting for right now. This game is just stop, start, stop, start, stop, start, stop, start. This is what I don't like about these teams, man. Honestly, it's like acting, holding your face, and that, mate. You're a shit footballer, mate. You play for bloody, Vavella FC, mate. Just get on with it. Goodness me, come on. Oh, goodness me. It's like they're just wasting so much time. They're just rolling around the floor the whole game. This is what this game's been about. I'm not interested in them with their discriminatory players, man. They can get out of the World Cup. I didn't see what he said, Ephraim. What did he say? What did he say, Ephraim? Turkey will be going home at this rate, guys. They're going to be going home, and to be honest with you, they deserve it. Because they haven't really laid a glove on them. I think, yeah, but I do think that Portugal are overrated, mate. I've always said it, even with Ronaldo, not Ronaldo. I do think they're overrated. I think a lot of the Portuguese players are, apart from probably Vitinha and João Neves, probably. I do believe that Portugal are extremely overrated. They're always overrating Portugal. I think they have a poor manager. I think, yes, Ronaldo needs to hit the bench. I agree. But he's not just the problem. Watch the way they play football. When they get the ball, it's back, forth, back, forth. They're just, they can't blame Ronaldo for that. It's not Ronaldo. They're blaming one player. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit like what Man United did when we had Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We blamed Ronaldo for our downfall when it continued afterwards. You can't just blame him. Of course, he shouldn't be playing every game. He shouldn't be playing. He should be on the bench. I agree. But Portugal themselves, they do it all the time. It's the way they play. And yeah, let's not forget, who won on the Nations League, who won on the European Championship and stuff. Do you know what I mean? So there you go. So that's the thing. They need to look at themselves. But yeah, 41, I think Ronaldo he should have retired. If Germany play against Carousel, fan. Germany played at Carousel, mate. Who anyone can beat 7. Chance wide. They've got themselves to blame. They finally get the ball in the box. So anything going on with Aurelien Tchouameni around it? I'll talk about it on Breaking Dawn, mate. They have themselves to blame in this game. They're going to lose this game, and they have themselves to blame. You know, probably another minute added on because obviously the time wasting and stuff like that. Probably another minute added on. Now it's a corner. Turkey have to get every single player up. That's what Turkey need to do. They need to get every single player up there. They haven't, though. They've been toothless. So another free kick for Turkey. Are they gonna get every player? Even a goalkeeper should go up. They're going out of the tournament. Even a goalkeeper should go up. They need to take a risk. So far, I've been impressed with England because England beat a good team 4-2. You know, that's poor, man. Right, here we go. Another chance, and it's wide. It has been a poor performance. It's over, guys. Turkey have lost. Turkey are eliminated from the World Cup. They are out of the World Cup. What a poor performance from Turkey against 10 men. They deserve to be out. They were useless, and Turkey will be going home. Paraguay can celebrate all they want. They were useless as well. I mean, anyone who plays Paraguay in the next round would be delighted. Absolutely. They were absolutely rubbish. Both of these teams are absolutely rubbish again. Thank you, everyone who's joined me today. But you know what? Paraguay, if England play Paraguay, I'll be laughing. Mate, England could play B team and beat them. It'll be easy. But yeah, I mean, I think England play C team probably. They'll probably play a championship team and beat them. Yeah, guys. And but I would say, 1-0 final whistle. Big up Rajat. Absolutely. Big up Rajat. Big up everyone. England have been the best team so far. I have to say that. England have been the best team, I would say. Great show. Thank you so much. See you for Breaking Dawn. I would say thank you so much. Big up everyone in the stream, guys, and thank you. But you know what? This was going to happen, isn't it? You got to take in football. You got to make you reap what you sow, isn't it? You make your own luck in football, don't you? And that's what it is at the end of the day. And Turkey lacked the quality. They lacked the edge and stuff at the end of the day. They lacked the quality, they lacked the edge, and they didn't do enough, in my opinion. Definitely didn't do enough in this game to warrant a win or warrant a draw. Paraguay will be playing, I believe they're going to be playing after this game, Australia in the next game. Paraguay against Australia is going to be a big game now. And thinking are through anyway. USA are already through. So USA Turkey is a nothing game now. It equates to a nothing game, USA against Turkey. You know what I mean? And the best teams in the World Cup so far, as I said, England, France have done all right. Although I was a bit funny about Senegal, the way they played. I didn't think they played well. So far, I haven't seen half all the teams now. I think it's between England, USA, France, were the best teams so far, in my opinion. England had the hardest game and they won the hardest game by 4-2. They beat Croatia, right? And that's what it is at the end. And they beat them well as well. Could have scored 5 or 6 goals. And that's what it is at the end of the day. But big up everyone in the stream. Big up Greg. Big up my friend. Big up Ephraim, of course, as well. Big up Kiddo. Big up everyone in the stream with your intelligent opinions. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day. I'll see you for Breaking Dawn. Take it easy, peace.